Hey everybody, what's going on? Dylan Tedmer here and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. On this channel, I will be talking about life, self-development, real estate, sales, pretty much the broad spectrum of anybody who's looking to improve themselves. This is the channel where you can go to, so again, please feel free to subscribe if you are new here. Alright, so let's get started with today's topic. Today I really wanted to talk about an NLP strategy called anchoring. Anchoring, I've been using it for a little while now and I've been having some awesome success with it, so I really wanted to share it with you guys so that I can kind of give you at least like my view of it and how I do it, so maybe you guys can have some success with it and use it in your personal life. Alright, so let's get started with it. Alright, so first off, what is anchoring? I have the actual definition of it here. Yeah, because it will sound better than if I were to define it. So it's the process of associating an internal response with some external or internal trigger so that the response may be recalled. Alright, so that's a little fancy. So let me kind of, I guess, like summarize that a little bit. So basically what anchoring is it's taking an internal like feeling that you have. So like, you know, if you're excited or if you're happy or you're you know, like, I don't know, like hardworking, or you're really like determined, right? So like, let's take an internal response that's like that and that feeling, and basically anchoring it is basically when you, I guess, you touch a certain point on your body or a certain, I guess like a trigger, as it says in the definition. You take that trigger, and then anytime you touch that certain area, it brings out that feeling that you want to have in certain situations. Okay, so again, summarized. It's taking a feeling that you have inside and attaching a trigger, right? You're attaching that feeling to a certain trigger where you touch a certain point on your body, no matter where it's at, all right? So that's what an anchor is in NLP, all right? So now how do you create an anchor, all right? So first step you got to do is, obviously, you got to decide the feeling that you want. So like the feelings I was describing earlier. So you have, you know, excited or determined or happy, go-getter, whatever feeling that you want. You have to decide you have to decide which feeling that you want, okay? And then you have to decide which trigger do you want to on your body, all right? Well, there's different ways you can do anchoring. So it's like, you know, for when you walk into a certain place or you walk into a certain room, you know, you have certain triggers, but that's for a different video. For this, I'm talking about an anchor on your personal body, okay? So, and make sure that's an area where you can actually touch. So don't like choose somewhere like in the middle of your back, because then that's just ridiculous. Then you look absurd. All right, so you want to touch like an area like on your hand, like making a fist, like a strong fist, or like on your chest, or clapping your hands together. Some form of anchor where like you can actually do it when you need it, okay? And then, so the next step after you decide the feeling and the area that you want to use as your trigger, you want to think of a time when you felt that chosen feeling, okay? So what you want to do is you really want to get back into a time where you felt like, let's use excited for an example. So like, let's go back, you're going to have to go back to a time when you felt excited, okay? Then when you feel that feeling, you really want to get really into that situation, okay? That time. You want to see what you saw, feel what you felt, and heard what you heard, okay? So when you're really in that situation, that's what you need, or before I get too far into it, that's what you need to do, is you really need to get into that situation, really feel it, really just sit down and really focus on being in that situation. Okay, now, when you get into that situation, you want to touch your trigger area. Let's say like I'm going to use the palm of my hand. You want to, or I'm sorry, go back. So you don't want to use an area where you're going to be touching a lot, because obviously you're going to be shaking people's hand and touching things. You don't want to you know, use that area as a trigger. Forgot to mention that, my bad. So you want to use an area where you're not going to be, that when you touch it, it'll be you touching it on purpose. Okay, so it's not like an area where that's being touched by physical objects all the time. So like the back of your hand, let's just use that. So the back of your hand. So when you touch the back of your hand, the time you want to touch it is when you're feeling in that situation. You want to touch your trigger area right before, you know, you peak at that feeling. So like the feelings like when you're really feeling it, like you know it's strong, you're feeling it, and you're starting to get really excited, like you're starting to get really excited, you're starting to feel it, boom, touch your trigger area. You don't want to peak and then fall, all right? Because you want to be able to touch your trigger area on the way up, so that when you use it in the future, you're on the way up to being excited, and you're almost there, so you're getting excited. You don't want to touch your trigger area when you're at the peak and then fall. That's what you don't want, all right? So touch the trigger area on your way up. When you're about to peak, when you're about to feel it, like that, really feel that feeling, that's when you touch it. All right. Now, after you figure out that feeling that you want, you decided your trigger. Now you're feeling it, and now you're touching your trigger area for the first time. You want to do that same process about like 2 to 3 times, thinking of different scenarios of feeling that certain feeling. All right. Then you want to do the same thing over and over again. About to get to the peak, touch it. About to get to the peak, touch it. Okay. Now what you want to do after you've used it about 3 times, okay, now what you want to do is you want to test it. So give yourself a minute, kind of relax, breathe, chill out for a minute, and then after about a couple minutes, you just want to touch the trigger area and see how you feel. I can guarantee you, if you did it right and if you did it correctly, that you will feel something, and you will feel excited, and you'll be like, wow, this is awesome. Okay. Now when you feel it, when you test it out and it works, think about something else, get your mind off of it, think about chairs, anything. And then afterwards, test it again. And then if it works, you know that you're good to go. Now, you can't do this once and then just expect it to, work forever. Okay? So what you're going to want to do now is whenever you reach a certain situation, like you come across a situation in your life where you're excited, you want to use that and then keep using the trigger. Like, okay, add the situation to my trigger. If you don't use it, if you don't use your anchor consistently, it's going to fade away. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're using it pretty consistently, because if you don't, then you're just going to forget about it, and it's not going to be as strong and as effective as it was. So you have to remember to keep using it consistently. Okay, now anchoring is a very powerful tool that you can use in any situation that you want. Like, let's say you're going in for an interview, or let's say you're going in for a sales meeting, or let's say you're pitching somebody, or let's say like you're in a situation where you need to feel a certain situation to make you perform at your peak. Okay, this is a great tool that you can use, that you can utilize to make sure that you're at a pretty solid state, so that way before you go into the room or wherever you're doing, you know that you're going to be in a peak state, and you know that you're going to perform pretty well. All right. So again, anchoring. All right, this is a powerful tool. Make sure you guys are using it. Make sure you guys are consistently using it. If you have any questions or you're not really sure about something, please feel free to message me. I'm kind of new to this NLP stuff. I'm still learning it, but the reason why I'm making these videos is because I'm learning, and I want to share it with you guys and share with you what I've been doing and how everything's going. But I got this anchoring thing down pretty well, so I wanted to share it with everybody. All right, so please like, share, and subscribe. Again, this is a great channel for self-development, real estate sales, personal life, things about growing. All right, so if you guys are interested in those topics, this is the channel that you guys are going to want to subscribe to, okay? All right, so guys, really enjoyed sharing this topic with you, and I look forward to speaking with you guys in the future.